it's going to be really, really cold. Like, well, 2 degrees in Canberra as a minimum, but that means out in the mountains somewhere it will be probably below 0, which isn't cool. It's freaking cold.
Much as we want you to grit your teeth and keep running, it is only a race, and we really don't want any more people to die.
Previously on Inward Bound, teams arrived at the endpoint at Majors Creek in October after one of the most challenging IBs ever. This year, the race is returning to April, leaving little time to prepare for the wildest event of ANU interhall sport, Inward Bound. East of the Brindabella Ranges, the outback is at its most vibrant and frequented by backpackers. And here, nestled south along Corran Road, is Woods Reserve. This isolated camping ground, southwest of Canberra, was the endpoint for the 45th Inward Bound race. 48 teams from the ANU are racing to this point. In the months leading up to the event, colleges begin preparation through a mix of fitness and navigation training. Each of the 6 undergraduate colleges at the ANU will have 32 runners competing in 8 divisions in Inward Bound, with the shortest division covering up to 30 kilometres and the flagship division, Div 1, expected to cover over 100 kilometres during the race, 100 kilometres on foot. Navigation training is vital for locating where you are and the most efficient route to the endpoint. However, large groups of people with torches in the bush can attract some unwanted attention from the locals.
What are you up to?
Practicing orienteering.
All right, let me know what's going on.
Yes.
This, however, was a mild encounter, and shots have been fired by farmers in several previous races.
Trespassing on private property is something that we don't encourage.
So the risk of snake bite is significantly higher than it would have been in the last event that you had. Any snake you've got to assume, is really venomous. There's probably a pile of other terrible things that could happen to you, but I really don't think it's worth mentioning those.
It's the night of the race, but before teams can depart, their gear must be checked to ensure all the compulsory equipment, including maps, compasses, food and water, are present, and items like GPSs aren't. This also provides an opportunity for teams to size up their opposition from the other colleges before the race, or maybe grab a quick nap and keep hydrated. Divisions leave in 1 hour intervals from the ANU, with Div 1 leaving first. Runners are blindfolded and placed on blacked out buses for what can be more than a 3-hour bus ride, with the penalty for peaking being disqualification. A disqualification you won't be told about until you finish the race. Once the blindfolds are off, IB begins. Teams are given envelopes with the endpoint map coordinates. The navigators stay and plot the endpoint while 2 scouts go off in search of clues as to where they are. Using this information and the line of sight distances given to the endpoint, teams should be able to calculate their position accurately. Forests, paddocks, rivers, streams, cattle grids, bridges, power lines. Okay. Just jog your memory. You want to run off that way? You want to run off that way? Yep. You run that way. We're in the Brindis. There are always a variety of routes to take on Inward Bound. Looking at the Division 6 plan, there are 3 main ways to go. Backtrack to the valley and join the Smoky Fire Trail with Divisions 2 and 5. Take the very long but relatively simple road, or risk it with a fire trail that runs inside the road, cuts in, but then requires a 2-kilometre bush bash over a mountain saddle. Teams that choose the right path should finish faster.
This is a good pace, though.
Yeah.
We're going to get this pace for ages.
Yeah, I'll be fine. We're getting there. Whew. The sun doesn't come out there, but we'll get there. I'll get there. Not all of them finish, not all of them come first. But every year, nearly 200 residents from the ANU push their bodies beyond physical and mental extremes in this event, Inward Bound. And all of them deserve to win.